In today's Leeds news, Max Wober's future latest Summerville call-up gives Leeds some cash. This weekend's loan watch, Leeds cool on Buonanotte, and Rumour mill story on Santiago Gimenez. Hey folks, welcome to the Leeds View for Monday the 9th of March with your Leeds United news. Jerry here, I hope you're all having a really good day. I hope your weekend went well. Leeds winning a match and getting into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup always helps that a little bit as well. And it's great, finally, first time in nearly 25 years we've managed to get into a quarterfinal and a up and down performance yesterday, but got the job done without having to get into third gear, which is what we needed in some important minutes for some players. You can check out the match reaction straight after the game as well. It's up on the channel in the live tab if you want to get my thoughts on the match yesterday. Outside of that, we got a bit of stuff to get stuck into. We will have a podcast out tomorrow night, and we do have a partnership with OK Jerseys where you can get 8% off all of their shirts, tracksuits, and kidswear across their website, okjerseys.com. 8% off using the code TVU at your checkout to get that discount. Right, let's crack on. We'll start off today by delving into some loan players and Max Werber's futures as we approach the end of the season. Max Werber's loan at Werder Bremen has gone just about as badly as any kind of a loan move can go. He spent the bulk of last season on the treatment table at Elland Road, and Leeds were looking to get him off the books this summer, and they couldn't get a permanent move for him, so off he went to Werder Bremen on loan with an option to buy, and there was a small option in there. Leeds were hoping that the fact that he had a reasonably good time at Germany in his last stint there, that this would go very well. Leeds would bring in the cash in the summer and all would go well. So off he went with Isaac Schmidt. His loan's gone okay. Wobers, not so much. He injured his hamstring in a cup game right before the start of their league campaign, and that kept him out until December. When he came back from that injury in December, he then injured his calf, and that has kept him out until now, and will likely keep him out until the international break as well. But Werber reckons he's close to a comeback and spoke to ESPN and said that he will be back, hopefully, after the international break, and he'll have 5 or 6 games left in the season in order to give his all for Werder Bremen. So from a Leeds perspective, any hope of trying to get that option to buy seems to be gone. Any kind of hope of selling the player at this point or even opening the door for another loan move next season seems incredibly unlikely given his injury record over the past 2 seasons. He would need to play in all of those 6 games, and he would need to play very, very well to convince any club to ignore the injury record over the last couple of years and take the plunge and try and give Leeds some cash for him. So the most likely scenario here is that Max Werber will return to Leeds United in the summer. He'll likely have to see out his contract, which runs until 2027, or Leeds can try and do some sort of a deal with the player and try and get him off the books, or convince somebody else that he is worth taking. He's barely kicked the ball this season, like 1 cup appearance and 2 appearances off the bench for Werder Bremen. So it's not been great. It's been a disaster for the player, and it's been a disaster from Leeds' perspective. They would have been hoping to bring in some of that money this summer. So yeah, got about as bad as it could possibly have gone. But there is some good news of potential cash coming in the summer, and it relates to Crescencio Summerville. As part of the Leeds United sale of Chris Summerville to West Ham, Leeds put in a clause in the deal that if Summerville got an international call-up, the Leeds would be due some additional funds, and that might be about to happen. Summerville, at the moment, looks like he's single-handedly going to keep West Ham United in the Premier League, given his form over the last couple of months, but also put himself very much in the window for a chance to play for the Netherlands in the World Cup. Speaking with ESPN, manager Ronald Koeman said that he is positive about Summerville and is keeping a close eye on him. Koeman also believes that Summerville gives him plenty of options. The fact that he can play on either wing or play through the middle as well, and the fact that his form has been so impressive in the Premier League is a major factor in this for Koeman as well. So he could be looking at a call-up for the Netherlands come the March international break, and for Leeds, that could mean some cash that will likely go straight into the kitty for the summer. Leeds United are said to be due £4 million if Summerville plays or gets called up. It's not crystal clear on that at this point. There is a clause. The detail doesn't say whether it's the call-up or playing for the Netherlands, but both of those things could likely happen during the March international break. And if it does happen, Leeds will receive £4 million in additional fees from West Ham United. Given his form, it looks very likely that that will happen, and given how positively Koeman has spoken about him, it looks nice. And again, will bolster Leeds transfer kitty for the summer. Summerville, when he was sold by Leeds, was sold for an initial 25 million that could rise to 34 million. 4 million of those add-ons were related to this exact topic, and there's another 5 that were related to performance related metrics. Now, they were done at a time when West Ham United had just won the European trophy And the extra 5 million would be if West Ham qualified for the Champions League and if West Ham United won a trophy, which both of those things seem unlikely to happen now at this point, but Leeds could get an additional £4 million in, which would bring the total transfer fee to 29 million for Summerville. So yeah, nice little windfall at a good time of the season. Let's get into loan watch. Start off with Jack Harrison. He started and played 81 minutes for Fiorentina in their 0-0 draw with Parma. Joe Gelhardt started and played 90 minutes for Hull in their 3-1 home loss to Millwall. Joffrey scored Hull's only goal and it brought him up to 12 goals for the season. Mateo Joseph started for Real Mallorca in their 2-2 away draw at Osasuna, and he played 88 minutes before coming off in that one. Large Ramazani started and played 82 minutes for Valencia in their 3-2 home win over Alaves. Picked up the Goal of the Month award for his Valier early last month. Roy Mahadi was unfortunately still on the bench for Scunthorpe's 3-0 away win to Yeovil. Isaac Schmidt started on the bench for Werder Bremen in their 4-1 away win over Union Berlin. Didn't come on until the 92nd minute. Conor Douglas started and played 90 minutes for Buxton as they lost 3-1 at home to Kidderminster. Devin Brocky was not part of the Cleethorpes squad for their 1-0 win at the weekend. I'm not sure if he's already returned to Leeds. Alex Baird was also not in the 11 for Bridlington in their 4-3 home loss to Consett. And Harry Gray started for Rotherham as they lost again, this time at home to Huddersfield 1-0. Harry played 70 minutes in that one. Need to find out what happened with Devin Brocky and Alex Baird. They could be back at Leeds now. The loan for Devin Brocky at Cleethorpes wasn't going particularly well. He wasn't playing a huge amount of football. But great to see Conor Douglas starting for Buxton as well and getting some minutes under his belt. Let's move on. When we signed Facundo Buonanotte, there was a lot of talk at that time that Leeds wanted to put an option to buy the player in to that deal, but that didn't happen. And even without that, Leeds were still said to be interested in trying to make the move a permanent one come the end of this season. There was talks from Brighton's side that they might be open to that, but a fee of £20 million would be needed to get the player. Now, the Argentine has not made the Leeds matchday squad for 4 of the last 5 games. He was an unused sub against Norwich. Graham Smith's off-the-ball moments pointed to the fact that he was regularly looking to the bench while warming up, but didn't get on to the pitch. And Daniel Farke has spoken about this, been asked a lot about Buonanotte over the last couple of weeks, and he said that hard work fixes everything, kind of maybe alluding to the fact that he doesn't believe Facundo Buonanotte is working hard enough. That's just speculation at this point. But his less than impressive start against Birmingham City might also be a factor in this. Didn't look on the pace of the game. Was a bit sloppy with his passes. Looked like a player who hadn't played a huge amount of football, and he hasn't. And it's going to take him a while to get up to speed, and Leeds don't have that time. So, according to reports today, Leeds United are certainly not said to be interested in making this a permanent move come the end of the season. And Leeds will likely look for other attacking options in that area, but Buonanotte is likely to go back to Brighton and Hove Albion, and then they'll try and sort out where his future is from there. From a Leeds perspective, they're not said to be interested in spending £20 million on a player who has failed to impress at this point, at least during his loan move, and will look further. There's 9 games left, and Daniel Farke will likely at this point now just focus on the players that he's worked with all season. He's got Noah Okafor due to come back pretty soon as well, so that adds another attacking player for the running. But we are around the corner now and into the home straight between now and the end of the season. We've got that international break coming up in a couple of weeks' time. It'd be nice to get a few points on the board and ease the pressure coming out of that international break, and hope that everything that does go away come back all fit and healthy. But yeah, it's not gone well for Buonanotte. It's not really worked at this point. There's not really a huge amount of games left. He might change that, but given the lack of football he's had all season, it does seem unlikely. Let's jump into some rumour mill territory. And as always, we are keeping track of who said this and where it came from. And we'll cover all these come the end of the season and see where Leeds are going into the summer. It's Santiago Gimenez today, and according to Sebastian Vidal of Ekrivian's Foot, he claims that Leeds United will explore a deal for AC Milan striker Santiago Gimenez once the season is over and the summer transfer window is open. Leeds, as we know, are very likely to try and add another attacker to the squad. Likely see Joe Piru move away in the summer. Got a lovely goal yesterday, but it looks like that will happen. But there was talk during the January transfer window that Leeds had some level of interest or liked Santiago Gimenez at that point and maybe had a look at him. They obviously were trying to get Strand Larson in. That didn't happen. And Gimenez would fit some of the boxes that Leeds look for in that position. Vidal claims that Gimenez is a priority target for Leeds United come this summer. And he also says the talks between Leeds United and AC Milan, at least initial talks at this point, are said to have already happened. But I would sprinkle as much salt on this one as you possibly can and mind your cholesterol. But the 24-year-old Mexican striker is, though, said to be looking to leave the San Siro this summer. That will likely happen. There is Premier League interest in him. Sunderland are interested in him as well. So we're going to get another summer of Leeds United and Sunderland. We're in that block of clubs, I suppose, that are all fishing in the same pool. We'll see what happens. But he also has interest across Europe. There's a couple of unnamed Spanish clubs that are said to have some level of interest in Gimenez as well. So yeah, he was very good when he was playing for Feyenoord. Italian league is funny. It doesn't suit every single type of player that goes over there. He's a good age, 24 years of age. He probably ticks the box of what Leeds are looking for. It's Sebastian Vidal with this one, though, so I don't know if it's credible or not. I did see a Football Insider talk about it as well, and as soon as they get involved in the mix, forget about it. They told us we were absolutely signing Axel Disasi during the January transfer window, that the talks were at advanced stage and it would definitely happen. And Leeds didn't even look at him. So, yeah, look, at this point, we've added him to the list. We've got strikers, left backs, 10s, and centre mids very much on the list going into this summer. We'll keep track of all these. We'll add a credibility ranking to all of these outlets come the end of the season, so we'll know who we should believe and who we shouldn't believe once all of the rumours really kick in over the summer transfer window. But folks, that'll be it for me today. Massive thanks as always for supporting the channel. You can check out yesterday's match review down below if you want. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, maybe consider subscribing, as we do daily Leeds United news on video on YouTube, as well as audio on Spotify, Apple Music, and Apple Podcasts. You can check it all out over there. Outside that, enjoy the rest of your day. I'll talk to you soon. See you later. Bye.